guys, welcome back to Winning Aging Skin with Allison. This is part 2 of the series, Why I Don't Use Viral K-Beauty Products. Thank you so much for watching for part 2. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. And if you really like the content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So we'll get started. Here's what we're going to dive deep into today. So the first video we did pre-cleansers, cleansers, essences, and serums. I'm kind of looking at this as a skincare routine. And then today it's going to be exfoliation and serums. So again, nothing against the viral K-beauty products that are out there. I'm sure they're amazing. You know, the big one that I already mentioned in the last video. If you're using it and you love it, stick with it. I'm really looking for those people that are a little bit older and that are really wanting to make significant change and are just stop wasting their money on things and just start collecting a skincare graveyard. You do not want that. I don't want that for you. Then you might want to keep on watching this video as we dive into part 2. So thank you again for being here. Let's get started. I am going to make a little disclaimer. I always really want my room at home to look more organized. Listen, it's not going to be organized, okay? I'm just going to be real with everybody. Like, if I put things off because I need this to be out of the way or move this around, nothing's going to get done. And I'm just not doing that anymore. Busy person, I have my hands in a lot of things, and so sometimes my room gets overflow from, you know, having things that I need in the treatment room. Sometimes they get stocked here. Things I don't need anymore, like that cart. There's another, mount. Look, I'm trying. But it's messy. Life is messy, and I'm not going to pretend like everything's perfect. I would love my beauty room to be a little bit more clean, but we're not going to fuss. And my dog's here. She is probably going to take a nap, thank God. Because we're going to go, after this video, we're going walking. I'm going to take advantage of this beautiful day we're having in Michigan. Yeah, it's cold, but that's okay. The sun is out. We don't care. And I wanted to take advantage of this filming. You know, I don't look as old when the sun's shining on me. So anyway, we're trying to age gracefully. Yes, I know. Okay, so exfoliation. So typically when you're looking at your skincare routine, what most of us will do, and it doesn't have to take a long time, this is be quick, is we've pre-cleansed, we've cleansed, we're doing a double cleanse if that's what we're doing. We maybe used an essence or a toner, or maybe we skipped it. Totally fine if you skipped it. Now we're going to exfoliate. We really want to do an exfoliation that's light on a daily basis. And when I'm doing exfoliation at home, because I use whatever I have in the treatment room, I use at home on me. I want something quick, not going to take a lot of time, but do the heavy lifting. We gotta lift the dirt, dead skin off our face. I'm a huge proponent of doing a daily exfoliation. If it's gentle and safe, I will say yes, please do it. If your skin is really sensitized, having irritation of some sort, then don't exfoliate every day. You can benefit from 3 times a week. Once, probably not going to be enough. 3 is usually the sweet spot, but the exfoliation products that I'm going to bring out to show you are really harmless to use every day. So, but always do a trial on yourself. I don't want to speak for everyone. My skin's pretty tough. It's been through a lot. She's got a lot of years on her. She can handle a lot. So, okay. The first exfoliation or exfoliator I'm going to bring to you is called, hang on, let me grab my bottle. Hang on. I know I should have it memorized. I don't. Okay? Don't come after me. Even though I use it all the time. So one of the lines that I absolutely love and highly recommend for my pro-aging people is the HOP line. And this is their Paleo Skin Prep. So Paleo means filler in Korean. And this is a skin prep, also exfoliator. It's a foam. Currently I'm out of it because I use it all the time. I'm completely out of it. I have to reorder some for myself. A lot of things that I'm going to talk to you about today, I either sell too much of and don't have on hand to show you up close, or I'm just currently out of it because I've used it up. But the Paleo Prep is such a great refining complex because it has so many good juicy ingredients. But ideally what you would do if this was full, 1 to 2 pumps comes out and it's a foam. So then I would take the foam. I have video I'll put in here of me using it. And then I just wipe it over my face, neck, décolleté, and don't forget the backs of your hands because we get a lot of sun damage here and we need to lift pigment. We have to exfoliate the back of our hands. And then you leave it on. It's easy, not hard at all. So easy. This is the easiest exfoliation, well, aside from the others I'm going to show you. Those are the ones coming up are very easy too. But you get that pro-aging ingredient deck on the skin already there, ready to go. So let me talk about the ingredients. Let's nerd out for a minute. Okay, so let me back up. So the HOP stands for House of PLLA. That is the line. And PLLA is abbreviation for poly-L-lactic acid. This is a collagen stimulating powerhouse. This is a very important ingredient if you're someone that is pro-aging forward and needs things to start working on their skin. So poly-L-lactic acid is a collagen biostimulator. It is full of a very important peptide called oligonucleotide, and that's going to really work for someone that wants to speak to firmness and help with elasticity. PLLA, number one thing in the exfoliator in this Paleo Prep. It also has exfoliation properties. So to make that work, it's going to include all 3 types of hydroxy acids. First one being your alpha hydroxy acids. This one in particular is going to have glycolic. Glycolic speaks to texture. Then you have your BHA, your beta hydroxy acid. That's going to speak to oil and decongestion of pores. Then the last one, which is the newer one on the market, PHA, polyhydroxy acids. Those are really gentle. They're still considered an alpha hydroxy as well. It's like the baby of the bunch. It's really gentle, great for people who have really sensitive skin and they just want a little bit of exfoliation on a daily basis. Granted, this has all 3. Not at real high concentrations, mind you, but enough to help with texture and smoothness, cellular turnover. Another unique ingredient in here is tremella mushroom. That is going to help with hydration. It actually works a little bit better than your typical hyaluronic acid. And then you have your niacinamide. Niacinamide is a huge, it's almost in every single skincare item on the market anymore now. Just assume that it's in there, basically. And niacinamide is a form of vitamin B that does a lot. Hydration, helps with clarity of the skin, helps with pigmentation or dark spots. It is a great way to brighten and boost radiance. And ceramides are definitely in this as well. Ceramides are all about barrier repair, keeping those lipids in place because we need a certain amount of lipids to have a healthy skin barrier. There's a lot more ingredients in here, but I'm not going to deep dive too much more than this. These are the most important ones and the reasons why I absolutely love it. There is just not anything else on the market like this, and it just makes sense to me if you're someone that is really working hard on pro-aging and doesn't want to pussyfoot around, then you need the Paleo Prep. We are going to nerd out on this one a little bit too. Hevatox. Yes, it sounds like something familiar, doesn't it? It does have a topical lifting protein in it. When I first heard about these, I was like, what? No. How could that be? But it's not going to necessarily freeze your face. Okay, it's an exfoliating pad. But it does have that topical lifting protein. And so what I noticed when I used this more consistently, I felt like my skin felt like a little bit of tightness more than normal. That's the best way I can explain it. Now, I myself have not done Botox. So I don't know what that feels like, but I know the end result is a softening of your expression lines and things like that. I would say that you still have expressions, but it just feels a little bit more taut, I guess is the best way to say it. So you've got your topical lifting protein in here. You also have more hydroxy acid. So this would be considered an exfoliating pad. Whereas the other one I just talked about, you would have pads in here. I'll bring some footage in here that are actually, I should take that back. It has a solution that's kept outside of your jar. So when you purchase your pads, you pour the liquid in and then you use them. So this has a combination of alpha hydroxy acids and polyhydroxy acid. So it doesn't really have the beta hydroxy acid in here. So this is really more for someone that has normal to dry skin. Sensitive skin can use this as well. And it's really just going to do like a quick exfoliation because it's a pad used on face, neck, décolleté, back of hands, and dispose. So what I usually suggest to people, I feel like there's 30 pads in here, is to cut it in half and then save the other half, because sometimes you don't need a whole pad. If you're just doing the face, you only need like half of it, and that stretches it out. Because this one runs a little high. This is 140 for these pads, and I think the one before that was 120. The one I just showed you was 120. So yes, so you want to make them last. And it also has gluconolactone. Gluconolactone is a fabulous antioxidant that really helps with minimizing dark spots. It's a protector, if you will, from the environment and any kind of environmental assault our skin goes through on the daily basis. Sorry, I should have mentioned the gluconolactone is the polyhydroxy acid in this product. So this exfoliating pad, this brand has figured out and done the research that if you combine your oligopeptide with a botulinum, botulinum polypeptide, they've combined the two, and together they can work on firming, tightening, overall skin clarity when applied topically. So this does have a topical neurotoxin in it. That's so cool. Come on. It's like, why wouldn't you want to use something like this to, maybe you're nervous about using Botox. This would be a great way to get some of that on your skin topically. Or if you're someone that is getting regular Botox, then this product would be a good way to help maintain your treatments, so that way you're not having to go maybe as often. Also really good for sensitive skin, especially those that have like atopic dermatitis. It has a ingredient here that is anti-inflammatory called Dermaclara, so it's specifically designed to help with those people that have sensitized skin, or if you've experienced some type of dermatitis. 24 karat gold is also found in this, which is anti-inflammatory, helps reduce redness. It also helps with overall rejuvenation of the skin. Like, this has been used since ancient times. That's how long of a history 24 karat gold has in skincare. Okay, the other product here, I'm just going to show you a picture of it because I don't have it with me because I need to reorder it. Clients love this one. This is the Clean Pore Calming Rejuvenating Pads. And these are so great because they really help pore decongestion, but they're safe enough to use if you have real strong, let's say like a lot of redness and acne bumps and or rosacea. So it's really great for those types of clients. They're also pregnancy safe. So I have a lot of clients that are building a family, or maybe they've already had their family and they're still breastfeeding. Like, it's safe for all of those, which I love having those options available. It is vegan too. So the number one ingredient in here that is the majority of this clean pore rejuvenating system is called Houttenia cordata, which also is known as heart leaf. So it has anti-inflammatory properties. It's really good managing sebum, great for clients who have acne, and it is a healing and a medicinal. Apparently it also helps with collagen synthesis too, and scarring, which I did not know. The other major ingredient, which I'm sure a lot of you have heard, I'm just gonna look at my laptop because I'm going back and forth anyway. I don't remember all of these things myself. This helps me remember. I just know that my clients really like it and I prescribe it to them because I know what it says on the package, but it's nice to dive deeper into the ingredient deck. Centella asiatica is super popular. It's in a lot of Korean skincare. It helps recover with wounds, scar tissue. Often that's found with people that are struggling with acne. Another collagen stimulator, helps collagen synthesis at the dermis layer, helpful for anti-inflammatory purposes, and a really good antioxidant. So it actually removes any of those free radicals I talked about, those species that it can eat away at collagen. It actually helps get that out of the skin. Then you have our PHA again, our gluconolactone, which is a gentle way to exfoliate the skin, less irritating, but still can remove dead skin cells. It helps with skin tone, again, promoting collagen production, and it helps with hydration too. So these are wonderful ingredients for those that have mature acneic skin, a little bit of acne, or maybe a lot of acne. It's a heavy hitter in all those fronts. Another ingredient that I've talked about before on the first video is idabenonone, and it helps minimize collagen degradation, and again helps improving elasticity, which we need. Then my favorite, NMN, again, this is also going to do, it can naturally help with the body's production of NAD+, which I thought was interesting. Again, always helping with promoting collagen and elastin, and it protects the skin from damaging UV rays. So it's like, why wouldn't I want those things in my exfoliator? Like, these are things I know are not necessarily talked about virally, but maybe you'd want to dive deep into. And these pads are only $60. I think you get 70 pads, and they're large, as you can see. I think in the picture it shows you the size, which is another reason why I started carrying them, because I've been seeing virally all these pads that are large enough to lay on your skin and leave as a mask for a few minutes, which you can easily do with these. So I guess we're kind of playing into a viral thing, but as you can see, the ingredient deck is just amazing. Okay, so again, I don't have these with me, but this is what they look like, and clients love them. So this one has almost a very similar ingredient deck that I'm not going to repeat from the last moisture pad that I showed you. This is the Tight Moisture Hyla Balance Pad. So these are really made for even more mature skin types that are really lacking in hydration, and it adds in more peptides. It still has the ingredients that I mentioned in the last video, or in the last segment, but it adds this one ingredient called trehalose, which, what I'm gathering from this is that it really helps the skin hang on to moisture. So this actual ingredient lives in the desert, apparently, which I did not know. So it really helps protect your, as we get older, we have what's called tool transepidermal water loss. And it really just escalates when we get into like my age and up. So you really want things that are going to help the skin retain its moisture. And even though hyaluronic acid is a big deal and it's been around and can do the work, it comes in different sizes. And so sometimes hyaluronic doesn't get to the cells. It just sits on the surface of the skin. Or something like this is going to sit, it's not going to just sit on the skin. It's going to get into your skin cells and help them stay more hydrated and plump. As soon as you look dehydrated, it's over. Okay, you look bad. So this is why my more mature skin clients dive into this one. Now, why wouldn't they do the Hevatox? Hevatox would be a great option as well, but you know, Hevatox is $140. This one's a little bit less. This is only $80, and you can use these as sheet masks because they're large pads. I think the pads are vegan themselves, safe for people who are pregnant. I think they're 7 centimeters is what I read. So the pads, they're just nice. A lot of people like the pads. They like the size of the pads, and it feels good on the skin. Okay, I really want to deep dive into this serum because this is one of the ones that when I first met it, I was like really like excited about it because it just does so many things, and it's probably the number one thing that I really can't keep on my shelf because I'm always sharing about it with clients, especially those that are working towards more of a pro-aging routine and don't want to have a lot of steps. So let me talk about it. This is the Cavi. This is professional size, but we can sell it to clients as well. Cavi PLLA O2 serum. It also has volufiline, which I know has been highlighted on TikTok before and other things, and then growth factors. So I know it's hard to see the bottle, but this is a really multi-purpose serum. So this serum is what I use in lieu of vitamin C, and I use it in lieu of a retinol. So if someone has had, let's say they're sensitive to vitamin C, this would be a good option, or they're sensitive to retinol, or they don't want to have two different products, they just want to use one. It doesn't have to be used more than once a day, and it doesn't even have to be used daily because it's pretty strong. What makes it unique is the oxygenating effect it has on the skin. As you can see, I'm going to have some footage in here to kind of show you how it works. This serum, you only need 1 to 2 pumps, and you're going to do it over face, neck, and décolleté, of course, backs of hands. If you're someone that's going to use it in all those areas, then I strongly recommend the professional size. I want to say this one retails for $200, a little more than that, $225. But you're getting 4.05 fluid ounces in here of the big one if you're going to use all those areas. If you just want a baby step, you just want to use it on your face, then you definitely don't need the big one. You can get the smaller size, and this one retails for $95, I believe, and this is 1 ounce. So the other one's better value. I apologize. Guinea's on a squirrel hunt. She barks at everything in the yard. Birds, my neighbor, squirrels, dogs. I'm not used to having a barking dog. I love her, but she's a little loud. Okay. Let me dive deeper into the Cavi PLLA because I really want to spend some time on it. I don't have too many other serums I'm really going to highlight today, so we have a little time for this one. So the oxygenating part is what's really critical because this formula is meant to obviously promote microcirculation. It's going to help with a good optimal exchange of oxygen and nutrient delivery. And it doesn't need gas. It doesn't cause oxidative stress to do all those things. It's going to really help with your skin's cellular respiration. Again, we're definitely stimulating collagen, and it's increasing the ATP in your skin. That's basically cellular energy. And as we mature, ATP goes down. Like a lot of reasons I would suggest to people when they ask me if like for home devices, microcurrent, this is the new Face Mini. Microcurrent is another way to increase your ATP. Your adenosine triphosphate, that's cellular energy. That's another way you can do it mechanically with a facial device, or obviously using this Cavi PLLA. So when you have an oxygenating effect in a product, you can see bubbles, but sometimes bubbles don't always happen. So I don't let my clients freak out. Don't worry, it's still working if you don't see the bubbles. So this is going to be the long game. So it's going to help with luminosity. We're obviously increasing the oxygen exchange. We need oxygen health in our cells to have that radiance. And I'm just going to dive deeper into the ingredient deck here a little bit more. Obviously, it has the PLLA, polylactic acid, the biostimulatory dermal filler, volufiline. Volufiline is going to help promote lipid storage. So it increases the fat volume in the cells under the skin. So sometimes I want to say volufiline, I think I've seen it where it's promoting like a plumping effect on lips. Really, it's temporary, but over time, I guess it can increase the fat cells in your lips if you use it every day on your lips, not the Cavi. Whatever that I saw promoted on TikTok as a lip plumper. So volufiline can do the same thing in your skin as well. It's got 4 different types of growth factors. This is really going to help promote collagen and enhance elasticity. So lately I've been seeing a lot of clients come through that have elasticity because maybe they're trying some new weight loss routine. So they're losing that tightness in their skin, and it's going to happen if you're not doing it. Like sometimes if you have rapid weight loss, that can really affect elasticity. If it's a gradual weight loss, maybe not so much. So this would be a really good product for someone that's going through that because of all the different growth factors. It does have your hyaluronic acid, so it's going to help with that. Surprise, surprise, niacinamide is in there. That's going to help with the fine lines, addressing skin tone, dullness, going to regulate sebum production. So if you have mild acne or mild congestion and you're pro-aging, this would be a good complement to that clean pore exfoliating pad I mentioned, or that would be a great complement to the heat tox. That would be a good recipe. Fermented royal jelly. I feel like royal jelly's been around for a long time, and I always think of La Mer. When you say royal jelly, I'm like, roll my eyes, because La Mer's just been around forever and a day, but not that it's bad necessarily, it's just a long-standing product. So the royal jelly is meant to help with fibroblast production, to really help, again, with sagging, fine lines, and wrinkles. It also has a really interesting ingredient that I didn't know was so powerful, but I find it in a lot of Korean skincare, Bulgarian rose Damascena water, which is a 100% pure food grade without any additives or preservatives. It's antibacterial, antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, and it helps minimize fine lines and wrinkles. So as you can see, if Cavi could go viral, it should. It's amazing. It does so much. I'm going to tell you, I've gone through, I don't know how many, I have like 4 bottles on my counter right now, all different sizes. If I get my hands on it, I get it. I'm not using my Cavi right now. I miss it so much because I have to reorder it, and I'm trying some other things out. Cavi, you really can't go wrong with this one. You don't have to use it every day. I always recommend it at night, because it is a powerful ingredient, and this is what's really going to help facilitate and support what you do in my treatment room. We have treatments, needle-free filler facials, skin tightening facials. We have boosting radiance facials, the spicules. All that can be supported very well with a Cavi serum. Yeah. So I told you Cavi replaced my vitamin C retinol, but I'm trying a new vitamin C just because I wanted to. I like this. It's a great stepping stone if you've never used a vitamin C. Vitamin C is such a loose term though. There's so many different aspects to vitamin C. I'm not going to dive too deep into it, but the most researched form of vitamin C is always going to be, and most effective, is ascorbic acid. The best way to really get ascorbic acid, if you're going to use a serum, it has to be suspended with ferulic acid and vitamin E. That is the cocktail that SkinCeuticals patented and created. That's why they're known for their vitamin C. That's why it's so effective. They did all the work. Every other product copies them, and not to the fullest degree. But because ascorbic acid is so unstable, when you get a serum that says ascorbic acid, if it doesn't have vitamin E and ferulic, it's trash. It's not going to be active. It's an active vitamin C. So that's why when people use vitamin C, sometimes they get irritated because it's active. Any other vitamin C out there is what's called an ester, a whisper of vitamin C, because it's not active. Your skin has to go through a process to make it active, much like retinol. Retinol, over the counter, has to convert 2 times in our skin cells to become active retinol. Same with a non-ascorbic acid type of vitamin C. Even if you see products that say ascorbic acid in there, it's not going to be active. It has to be with those other 2 ingredients, or it's not active. Just know that. Okay, So this is not an active form of vitamin C. They rely on lemon water in here. It is also a lower pH. I wanted to see where's that. Okay, so it relies on a gentler form of vitamin C called magnesium ascorbyl phosphate. And MAP is the abbreviated term. It was popular for a while there because companies are finding it's expensive to do the real deal. It costs a lot of money. So they had to find some alternatives, and people were having irritation from it, let's say, the ascorbic acid. So MAP is more stable. It's a water-soluble derivative of vitamin C. So this would be good for someone who has had irritation and just doesn't want to get back into an ascorbic. I use ascorbic acid in my treatment room in the purest form. I have a powder. It's a booster, and I mix it with water, and we infuse it with electroporation device, which causes little tiny micro injuries into the skin so that it gets deeper into the dermis. I love using that because you're getting more pure ascorbic acid working for you. The reason why a lot of people use vitamin C is because it's directly tied to helping stimulate collagen, and also helps as a tyronase inhibitor, which means it's going to prevent dark spots from coming through, either at all or more. Certain dark spots, if they're really deep, like I don't know if you can see mine because I covered them with makeup, but I have a bad patch of dark spots right here that I've been working on for years. And even though I've lifted a lot of pigment through the use of my Cavi, through my exfoliating pads, doing at-home treatments, it's still there. So there's certain spots that there's just so much damage into the dermis that the only way to really lift or remove that is probably going to be through laser. Anyway, but so this particular vitamin C I usually recommend for those who've had irritation. Maybe they have a mild form of acne. They're trying to help minimize those marks that can occur after you've popped a pimple or is it on your own. And it helps with sebum too. So that is a good serum as well. Okay, this was a surprise. I wasn't expecting me to really fall in love with this one, and I do recommend it for clients as well. This is really good for your oil sensitive skin types. It is a calming ampule essence. I don't know that I have footage of me using this though. I'll look. If I do, I will put it in here. I know it's hard to see what it says. But this is the Premium Seeker Relief Calming Ampule Essence. I probably should have done it in the last video because it falls under essence, but it's really more of a serum to me. But it's very light, full of really good ingredients. It has several different types of hyaluronic acid and different weights. The different weights, as I said before, do different things. Some are meant to sit on the surface of the skin, some penetrate to the epidermis, and the other is meant to go to the dermis layer and really help the skin retain moisture. You've got your Centella asiatica in here, tea tree oil, which is also soothing, niacinamide, adenosine. Adenosine helps with hydration as well. You have your azulene. Azulene is calming to the skin. And it's just like a really nice, quick little way to hydrate. I love it. I use it. I used it up, as you can see. And it has, I guess, a lot of amino acids as well. But it's just basically a quick way to hydrate the skin. If you were to use this, I would always use it in the morning. So my morning routine would consist of the Cica essence, and then at night I might do my Cavi. Right now I'm going through my vitamin C. So this is my morning serum, and I'm using a different serum that I'm not going to dive into too much today for evening. But yeah, this product I definitely recommend for those that have really sensitized and irritated skin. So I also forgot to mention that in the treatment room, I use this with my ultrasonic spatula, kind of helps get the product a little deeper into the skin, and it just feels really nice, and you get the extra boost of glow and anti-inflammatory properties. That's gonna do it. My dog is still squirrel hunting and causing all this racket, so I gotta tend to her. We have to go for afternoon walkies. But thank you so much for listening. I really hope that you found it interesting. If there's any products in here that you'd like to know more about, obviously you can contact me via email, allie@allieskin.com. I'd be really happy to hear what you guys are using and liking. It's okay if it's a viral product. I want to know about it. Let me know. Maybe it's something I need to be using. It's all right. The more I know, the better I can be for my clients and for you. And again, if you haven't already hit that notification bell, please do so, and give the thumbs up if you can, and subscribe to see more. Part 3 coming soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.